Have you ever walked into a store intending to buy just one thing, but walked out with a cart full of items you didn't even know you needed? Or maybe you felt inexplicably productive in one coffee shop, but completely distracted in another, even if they seem similar. What if I told you this wasn't just a coincidence, or a lack of willpower on your part? What if it was all by design? Welcome to the hidden world of environmental psychology, where the spaces we inhabit are silently shaping our thoughts, feelings, and, most importantly, our decisions. This isn't about grand, obvious architecture. It's about the subtle, almost invisible forces at play in our everyday environments. The layout of a supermarket, the lighting in your office, even the width of a sidewalk. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the silent architecture of decision-making and revealing how physical spaces are quietly controlling your every move. Let's start with the most common example, the supermarket. It's a masterclass in spatial manipulation. The moment you walk in, you're often greeted by the vibrant colors and fresh scents of the produce section. This isn't just to make the store look nice. It creates a positive, healthy first impression, making you feel good about your shopping trip and more likely to make indulgent purchases later on. They call this the health halo effect. Then, you'll notice that essential items like milk, eggs, and bread are almost always placed at the very back of the store. This forces you to walk through the entire length of the supermarket, past countless aisles filled with tempting products. Each aisle is a carefully curated journey. Hyperfit items and popular brands are placed at eye level, what zone marketers call the bull's eye. Cheaper or generic brands, they're usually on the bottom shelf, forcing you to physically bend down to get them. Even the end-of-aisle displays, known as end caps, are prime real estate, often featuring products on sale that might not be the best deal in the store. By the time you reach the checkout counter, you're met with a final gauntlet of impulse buys. Candy, magazines, and cold sodas, all designed to prey on your decision fatigue after a long shop. Your simple trip for milk has turned into an expensive adventure, all because of the store's layout. This principle extends far beyond retail. Think about your workplace. For decades, the open-plan office was hailed as the key to collaboration and creativity. The idea was simple. Tear down the walls, and ideas will flow freely. But what did the research find? In many cases, it had the opposite effect. Face-to-face interactions actually dropped, while digital messages soared. Why? The lack of privacy and the constant noise created a high cognitive load. People felt exposed and overstimulated, leading them to withdraw, put on headphones, and communicate through screens to regain a sense of personal space. Conversely, think about a well-designed office. It might incorporate zones, quiet areas for focused work, collaborative spaces with whiteboards for brainstorming, and comfortable lounges for informal chats. The design nudges you into the right behavior for the right task. A nudge is a concept from behavioral economics. It's a subtle cue in the environment that encourages a certain choice without restricting your freedom. Putting a healthy snack at eye level in the cafeteria is a nudge. Making the staircase more prominent and visually appealing than the elevator is a nudge. These small changes in the physical environment can lead to significant shifts in behavior, from healthier eating to increased physical activity. The psychological mechanisms behind this are fascinating. One is priming. Priming is when exposure to one stimulus influences your response to a subsequent stimulus, without you being conscious of the connection. For example, studies have shown that people in a room with a faint scent of cleaning fluid are subconsciously primed to be tidier. Similarly, being in a library, a space associated with quiet and study, naturally primes you to lower your voice. The environment gives you cues about how you're expected to behave, and you often comply without a second thought. Urban planning uses these same principles on a massive scale. Think about a city designed for cars versus a city designed for people. A car-centric city has wide roads, vast parking lots, and buildings set far back from the street. This design discourages walking and social interaction. It creates a sense of isolation and can even impact public health by promoting a sedentary lifestyle. Now, picture a walkable city. It has narrower streets that slow down traffic, wide sidewalks, public squares, and mixed-use zoning where shops, homes, and offices are all close together. This design encourages you to walk, to linger, to interact with your neighbors. Benches in a park aren't just for sitting. They are an invitation for social connection. The presence of street art, green spaces, and good lighting can make a neighborhood feel safer and more vibrant, directly impacting the mood and well-being of its residents. These design choices determine whether a city feels like a collection of disconnected points or a living, breathing community. The effect of space on our mood is profound. Natural light, for instance, has been proven to boost mood and productivity. Hospital patients in rooms with a view of nature have been shown to recover faster and require less pain medication than those staring at a brick wall. The use of certain colors, the height of a ceiling, the texture of a surface all, these elements feed into our subconscious and influence our emotional state. A room with high ceilings can encourage more abstract, creative thinking, while a room with low ceilings might promote more concrete detail. Designers know this, and they use it to shape your experience. A fancy restaurant might use dim lighting and soft materials to create a sense of intimacy and relaxation, encouraging you to stay longer and perhaps order more. A fast food chain, on the other hand, uses bright lights, hard surfaces, and less comfortable seating to encourage quick turnover. So, are we just puppets, helplessly manipulated by the architects and designers around us? Not at all. The key is awareness. Once you understand these principles, you start to see the invisible strings. You can recognize when a store layout is trying to trick you, and you can make a conscious choice to stick to your shopping list. You can understand why you feel so drained in your cluttered home office, and take steps to redesign your workspace for better focus and well-being. This is where conscious design comes in. By understanding how spaces influence us, we can flip the script. We can intentionally design our own environments to support our goals. Want to read more? Create a cozy reading nook with a comfortable chair and good lighting, away from the TV. Want to be more productive? Organize your desk, remove distractions, and ensure you have everything you need within arm's reach. We can advocate for better public spaces in our community's parks that foster connection, streets that prioritize pedestrians, and buildings that promote health. The spaces we live in are not neutral backdrops. They are active participants in our lives, constantly whispering suggestions and shaping our choices. From the path you take through a grocery store to the way you interact with colleagues, the silent architecture of your environment is always at work. But by becoming aware of its influence, you gain the power to not only navigate it more wisely, but also to shape it. You can transform your spaces from controllers of your behavior into partners in achieving a better, more intentional life. The choice, once you see it, is truly yours. Thanks for watching. If you found this interesting, consider liking this video and subscribing for more deep dives into the psychology of everyday life. See you next time.